Alright, welcome back to Single Garage TV. We're going to continue the manual swap. First thing, we're going to get this torque converter off. You got to go, and let me get a flashlight again. You're going to take all those bolts out. So there's a little rubber grommet that's usually here. Pull that off, and I think there's like 5 or 6 of them, I can't tell. You're going to get them all off to get the torque converter off, and then we can get that flex plate off and get an actual pilot bearing in there, throwout bearing, well, not throwout bearing, sorry, I meant flywheel, and then a clutch. Alright, once you get the torque converter off, you'll come back right over here, and you have your flex plate. Oh, normally it's a flex plate, this one looks more like a flywheel, but it's a flex plate. The manual flywheel, you must use different hardware, just so you guys know, so be prepared for that. Another thing is, we're going to have to make a hole for our shifter, so don't forget to do that while the transmission is out. Probably the best time to do it, so that's what we're going to do. Get this flex plate slash flywheel off, and start taking apart the interior so we can get a nice proper hole here for our shifter. So for the autopilot bearing, we just welded a nut, and then you're going to get a long bolt, and you're going to screw that in until that bearing pops right out. Here we go, this is the auto, the nut welded in there, and push the bolt all the way through, and you're replacing this auto unit right here for this bronze manual pilot bushing. Alright, here's the manual pilot bushing in. You're going to use the flat side of a socket, and you're just going to hit it until it's pretty much flush with the outer part of that crank. Alright, now we're going to move along and start making the holes. So you're going to get these two Phillips right in here. You're going to remove, it's hard to see, so you're going to be able to get this out, and then I'm going to show you where we're going to cut. Next, you're going to take out all the Phillips necessary. 2 in there, there's 2 over here, and there's probably a few more on the sides. There might be some. And you're going to get this whole center console out so we can get this auto shifter assembly out. So from here you got 1, 2, 3, 4 10s that removes this, and then you got this collar you got to disconnect, and the shifter assembly, and just like that you got everything out. And now this is where you're going to use a hole saw. What size, Mike? 4.5?
4.5.
So that'll be a 4.5 inch hole saw right in the center, so you can draw 2 lines if you want, or just take a guess, up to you. We're personally going with the eyeball method. We're going to use a 3.5 inch hole saw because that's all we have in the moment. If we have to, we'll just cut it into a square later. Oh,
I have to redo it.
We'll take 2 in a second. Take 2 with a longer drill bit.
Like a pro.
Just like that, there's no going back. And those of you guys that are wondering, the manual shifter, boot, and retainer, as you guys can see, is a perfect fit in the auto chassis. So you guys don't have to use a riv nut or anything like that. Should all bolt right up. There's a chance that we might have to, for side to side, kind of do a little bit extra trimming, but we'll get to that if we have to. Alright, now we're going to cut the hole on the firewall for the clutch master. You want to move this brake line right here, and then there's this line right here, that one that I'm pointing at, right there. That's for the canister. You want to move them out of the way so you don't accidentally drill through them when you're cutting that hole.
I'm going to pull that little section out. Right there. The line you see. So pull away, and that'll be right where the clutch master sits.
That's it.
It's all there.
That's cool. So that's the pull away Mike was talking about.
And when you look up in there, there's 2 bolt holes in the circle.
Sweet. So we'll show you guys that real quick. Perfect. Wow. They make it easy for you, huh?
It's all set up.
There's the hole. We're gonna size check for the master right now. Then we got 2 more. Alright guys, this is the manual brake pedal versus the auto brake pedal. As you guys can see, exactly the same. In terms of the bracket that it uses to mount onto the chassis, the only difference is literally these parts right here. So this is gonna be the hardest bolt to get out, is over the air duct. The rest of it's pretty easy. I would say pull your brake booster off the firewall as much as you can to make space, and then you'll be able to get it out, and then same thing to get the manual one in. Alright guys, so the manual swap is pretty much complete. Here you see the shifter sticking out from there. Well, not the shifter, the top of the transmission is sticking out from there. Let me see if I can show you guys. We got our pedals done, so that's all set up. If we come to the bottom, and so there we go. So just so you guys know, that's the auto cross member for the transmission, and it all bolted up, no problem, onto the manual transmission for GTS4 4-wheel drive transmission. GTR transmission all works. Drive shaft, we didn't have a problem with the drive shaft. That all bolts up. Pretty much everything bolts right up on this conversion. It's super easy. Just want to show you guys one of the last final pieces over here. Hold up. So now, in order to get the car to start, you're gonna unplug this top wire. Is a 2-plug wire, and you're gonna loop it. I did a temporary loop just to show you guys. So here you go, temporary loop in there. So the big plug. Here you go. And now we can come over here. We can key on, and fires right up. And we have a running manual GTS4 with the GTR transmission. That simple. Revs up, no problem. We still don't have fluids in the transmission, so we don't want to go crazy. 4-wheel drive light is on because we don't have the front prop shaft, and we have not bled the Tesla system in the rear. So once I get that going, that light will turn off, and we should be good to go. I hope you guys enjoyed the auto to manual transmission, kind of a walkthrough, kind of just showing you guys what to do, kind of the important steps. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Till next time.